Hey queen, drop everything right now. Because the very last man who was allowed to touch this body, to taste these lips, to feel the weight of me on top of him, had to check off 7 non-negotiable, soul-shaking boxes first, and only after he did I let him within 10 feet of my silk sheets. And because I waited, because I held the line like the goddess I am, he is now the same man who just surprised me with a rose gold Rolex Daytona on a random Tuesday morning, who tears up when I let him hold my hand in public, who calls me my wife before the ring is even on my finger, while every single man I gave it up to early still drunk texts me wit at 2 a.m. Like the cheap, forgettable mistake they turned out to be. Tonight placing the exact 7-item checklist that separates the boys from the kings into your perfectly manicured hands. The same one that turned a confident, wealthy, I take what I want alpha into a man who begs for permission to breathe the same air as me. And once you implement even one of these 7, you will never again wake up next to someone who treats you like a late-night convenience. I want you to feel the night I decided enough was enough. I was 26, fresh off another situationship with a gorgeous trust fund DJ who flew me to Ibiza, paraded me in front of his friends, then disappeared for days the second I let him have all of me on night 4. I remember staring at my reflection in the mirror of a private villa bathroom at 4 a.m., mascara smudged, heart cracked open, whispering to myself, never again. And in that moment, I drew the line in solid diamond. From this day forward, no man touches this body until he proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that he deserves the privilege. Fast forward 2 years, and the man who eventually earned every inch of me had to pass 7 ruthless tests first. Tests so luxurious, so airtight, that by the time he checked the final box, he was already on one knee in the middle of a candlelit rooftop in Tribeca, ring box shaking in his hand, because waiting for me had become the greatest honor of his life. Talking about the kind of man who owns buildings, who gets recognized in restaurants, who could snap his fingers and have a harem tomorrow. Yet he waited, he courted, he invested, he transformed, because I made the price of admission so exquisitely high that only a king willing to build a kingdom could afford the ticket. These 7 things aren't games, darling. They are the ancient feminine laws written in gold and blood. The same laws Cleopatra scrollbar queens have used for centuries to turn warriors into worshippers. And tonight, I'm handing them to you word for word, step by step, so you can close the vault, raise the drawbridge, and watch the right man move mountains just to be invited inside. This is how it starts. The second you meet him, before he even buys you the first drink, you carry yourself like the final boss he's been training his whole life to face. Shoulders back, slow smile, eye contact that makes him forget his own name. And from that very first moment, the 7 requirements are silently in play. Number 1. He must plan and execute 3 consecutive, jaw-dropping dates that feel like red carpet events. No let's grab drinks. No split bills. No come over and chill. Talking corner table at Le Caucu, he booked 2 months ago because he heard I love French wine. A private sunset sail around Manhattan with a chef-curated dinner and a string quartet playing my favorite song. A spontaneous weekend in Aspen where the chalet is already stocked with my exact skincare fridge and the fireplace is lit before we land. If he can't make you feel like the only woman on earth for 3 entire nights, he doesn't get to see what's under the La Perla. Period. Number 2. By date 4, he must introduce you to his inner circle and claim you out loud. I don't care if his best friend owns yachts or his mother summers in Cap d'Antibes. If he's keeping you in the shadows, you're the secret, not the queen. The man who earned me brought me to his parents' estate in Greenwich on date 3, stood up at the dinner table in front of 20 people and said, Mom, Dad, this is the woman I'm going to marry. And I still hadn't let him do more than kiss my cheek. Number 3. He must verbally acknowledge and respect your sexual timeline like it's the gospel. I lay it out over dessert on date 2. Lock eyes, sip my champagne slow, and say I don't get physical until I know this is exclusive, serious, and headed somewhere permanent. It could be weeks. It could be months. If that scares you, we can end this beautifully right now. And I watch his soul leave his body and come back stronger. The boys panic and vanish. The men lean in closer and whisper, "I'll wait a lifetime if that's what you need." Baby. Number 4. He must lock you down with an official title before he even dreams of skin. No, let's see where it goes, while his hands are trying to see where your dress goes. The second he pushes without the label, I smile, place one finger on his lips, and say titles first, touch later, king, and the right man scrambles to make it official before the check arrives. Number 5. He must invest real money that actually hurts his bank account a little. Not transactional, devotional. A Van Cleef bracelet because I paused in front of the window for 3 seconds. A first-class ticket to Santorini because I said I needed sun. A deposit on a Birkin that costs more than most people's rent. When a man spends serious money before sex, his brain chemically wires you as mine to protect and provide for. And that wiring is permanent. Number 6. He must prove consistent emotional availability that would make your girlfriends jealous. Remembering your childhood dog's name was Luna. Flying in when your grandmother passed, even though you've only known each other 6 weeks. 3A. M. Phone calls where he actually listens instead of trying to fix. If he's emotionally stingy before you sleep together, he'll be emotionally bankrupt after. And number 7. He must handle your full, unfiltered feminine power without flinching. I test this by being my most extra self on purpose. Full glam on a random Wednesday. Crying over a commercial because Mercury is in retrograde. Demanding he cancel a boys' trip because I want him with me that weekend. If he meets my chaos with calm leadership and a smile that says I was born to handle all of you, he passes with flying colors. If he calls me crazy or too much, I call him my ex before dessert arrives. These 7 things are the reason the man who finally tasted me still wakes up every morning looking for new ways to prove he's worthy. And they will be the reason your future husband thanks you on his knees for making him earn the greatest privilege of his life. Here's where the magic actually happens. My love, because these 7 requirements aren't just a list. They are a transformation machine that takes a regular high-value man and turns him into your personal devotee long before he ever slides my La Perla down my hips. Watch how it works in real time. The second he clears requirement 1-3 mind-blowing. Wallet opening dates. His brain registers you as the highest value woman he's ever pursued. Dopamine floods his system every time your name pops up. And suddenly canceling a board meeting to take you to Capri on a Thursday feels completely rational. Then requirement 2 hits public claiming in front of his inner circle. And his identity rewires. You're no longer someone he's dating. You're the woman his mother already calls the one. His friends toast to at dinner. His entire social world now holds him accountable to treat you like royalty or risk, looking like a fool. Requirement 3 verbal respect for your timeline is where the boys self-eliminate and the men fall to their knees. I've watched grown millionaires who swore they'd never wait for any woman hear my no sex until it's serious speech and answer with "I've been waiting my whole life for a woman worth waiting for." Then proceed to plan their entire calendar around proving it. Requirement 4, the official title, locks the emotional cage. The moment he says "you're my girlfriend" or "we're together" out loud, his masculine ego fuses to the idea of keeping you. And trying to sleep with you without that label suddenly feels like cheating on the woman he just claimed. Genius. Right. Requirement 5, real financial investment, is pure neurochemistry. When a man spends 5 figures on you before sex, his brain releases oxytocin and vasopressin at levels usually reserved for new fathers. He literally bonds to you the way he would bond to his own child. And that bond makes him protective, possessive, and addicted to making you happy. Requirement 6, emotional availability, is the quiet killer most women skip. I once had a tech founder fly from San Francisco to New York at 3 a.m. because I sent a single voice note saying I couldn't sleep after a hard day. He landed, held me fully clothed until sunrise, and told me your peace is my new religion. That level of emotional presence before sex guarantees, hell, never take you for granted after. And requirement 7, handling your full feminine chaos, is the final filter. The first time I threw a full diva fit because he was 20 minutes late, and I don't wait for anyone. Most men would have called me dramatic. The king looked me dead in the eyes, canceled his entire next day, booked the penthouse at the Ammon, filled it with roses and my favorite champagne, and said never again will you wait for me. I'll always be early for the rest of my life. That, queens, is what passing number 7 looks like. Every single one of these steps is designed to raise his investment so high that by the time you finally say yes, giving you the world feels like the bare minimum. I've watched men who used to juggle women delete every other contact the second they hit requirement 4. I've watched players who swore they'd never settle propose on month 5 because the thought of another man passing my 7 tests felt like death. I've watched emotionally unavailable alphas turn into men who cry happy tears when I let them plan our future. All because I refused to open my body until he had already opened his entire life. And the sex. When it finally happens, after all 7 boxes are checked, it's not just sex. It's a religious experience. 12 hours straight, tears in his eyes, thanking me between kisses because he finally understands that waiting wasn't punishment. It was the greatest gift I could have given him. The absolute certainty that when I chose him completely. No games, no doubts, just a woman who knows her worth so deeply, she made him raise his entire existence to match it. And now, he wakes up every single day looking for new ways to prove he's still worthy. Breakfast in bed at the Four Seasons. Spontaneous trips to Necker Island because I smiled at the ocean in a photo. Calling me his wife in conversations years before the wedding. Because once a man passes your 7 tests, keeping you becomes the entire purpose of his life. That, my love, is the real reason you never sleep with him before he does these 7 things. Because anything less is robbing yourself of the devotion you were born to receive. So here we are. Queen, the moment you close this video and step into the rest of your life with the vault locked, the crown polished, and these 7 commandments carved into your soul like they were written by the gods themselves. Starting tonight, no man touches this body, tastes these lips, or feels the weight of your naked skin until every single one of these boxes is checked in permanent ink. And if he walks away before the list is complete, you smile, kiss his cheek, wish him luck finding another woman who will ever make him feel this alive, and watch him disappear into the rearview mirror of your Maybach, while the right man is already rerouting his jet to come claim the prize. You are going to carry these 7 like a royal decree. The next time he texts come over, you answer 4 hours later with plan something worthy of me first. King, and watch him scramble to book Carbone tomorrow night. When he tries to slide his hand under your dress on date 2, you catch his wrist, look him dead in the eyes, and whisper titles first, touch later, then pull away like the tease you were born to be. When he says not really into labels, you smile slow, sip your champagne, and say that's completely fine. Not really into sharing my body with men who aren't sure. And watch him lock you down as his girlfriend before dessert arrives. You are going to demand the introductions, the investment, the emotional presence, the calm leadership in the face of your glorious chaos. And you are going to do it all while glowing brighter than ever. Weekly facials at Joanna check. New lingerie from Bordel that he'll never see until box 7 is signed. Girls' trips to Chalum, where you dance on tables and post stories that make him stop breathing mid-sentence. You are going to surround yourself with sisters who hold the line with you, who screenshot his effort and hype you when you don't cave, who remind you on the nights you're tempted that queens do not fold. We ascend, and when he finally checks every single box when he's introduced you to his mother as the future missus, when he spent 5 figures just to see you smile, when he's held you through a breakdown at 3 a.m., fully clothed, when he's looked your wildest feminine storm in the eye and said bring it on. I was built for this. Then and only then do you give him the full, sacred, biblical yes, and you watch a grown man fall to his knees and thank the universe for the privilege of loving a woman who made him earn it. If this just rewired your entire soul. If you're sitting there with chills knowing your next relationship will never look the same. Do 3 things for me right now. Smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because every week I'm dropping another masterclass that keeps you priceless. Comment below which of the 7 you're enforcing first 1 through 7. I read every single one and celebrate every queen who chooses herself. And send this video to every woman in your life who deserves to be worshipped instead of rushed. Type "I needed this" in the comments if your crown just got heavier and your standards just touched the stratosphere. Because I swear I can feel thousands of queens locking the vault and leveling up right now. You are not a test drive. Baby, you are the entire dealership. You are the destination, not the detour. Now go make him earn the greatest privilege of his life. Or watch him disappear trying. I love you. I'm proud of you. Your body is holy ground. Guard it like the limited edition masterpiece it is.